Demonio Dinaja Abarera Legos Ram Ori Banish C10 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 Demonio Dinaja Abarera Legos Ram Abarera, Legos, Rambori, Banish, C10, Demonio, Dinaja, 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 Abarera, Legos, Rambori, Banish.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Satan and Coffee. How's it going, everybody? Good to see everybody here. Feel like it's been forever since we've done one of these. So, as we always begin, hail Satan, hail Lilith, hail Lucifer, hail Payman, hail Baphomet, Hail thyself. We reject the Trinity. We reject the baptism of John, and we reject the baptism of the Spirit. Welcome, 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 everyone. It's good to see you. So, I was this close to canceling the show again, and then I realized I made a promise that I wouldn't cancel the show without enough warning. So I'm sitting here like old man Satan. I got a blanket. It's a little bit cold, you know. You like the new setup? It's a new place. It's a new house. I moved about 2 weeks ago. I think it was. I think I moved about 2 weeks ago, and yeah, So I went from a large 3-floor, 6-bedroom house to a 1-bedroom apartment. But I do have to say that the area that I live in is very nice. Everything is significantly more centric. Getting around is a hell of a lot easier, especially since my vehicle has died. It is like dead. Like there's dead, and then there's like my vehicle. Like there is no saving it. The amount of money that I would have to put into that motherfucker to get it up and running again is just not worth it. It's just might as well just buy something else. But yeah, with mold in a flat, my landlord doesn't care, and it's been a nightmare because I can't afford to move. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I jumped on this place. It's a 1-bedroom apartment in a really like nice area. I'm in walking distance between 2 different malls. Not to mention a bunch of like moms and pops marketplaces and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. Fruits, veggies, like all of that stuff, fresh and whatnot. And I'm spending the same amount of money that I was in the house, but with this one, the gas, water, and electric is included in the rent, so I don't have to worry about that. I mean, what I was paying for electricity because of my computer was probably like half of another rent. So that's definitely, a good thing to kind of have on lock is all of that. So there are definitely some conveniences and some inconveniences with it. But I'm happy. I like it. I'm enjoying it. I like the vibe. Everything's in decent enough condition. I'm pretty sure there isn't any mold in this place. At least I don't think so. I mean, they might have it painted over, but who the hell knows? But Seti, isn't that like illegal over where you're at? Like, can't you like legally do something like with that? I mean, I would hope that you could do something that like legally, because shit can kill you. Mold is nothing to fuck around with. So also it is Satan and coffee, so make sure you have your coffee. Unless of course you live on the other side of the pond and it's like 6:30 at night right now, so you might not want to drink some coffee because then you're just be awake all night. Anyway, so what is it that I want to talk about? The title. Oh, what the hell? Exploring abandoned places, always watching for mold. Yeah. Mold is, you don't want that shit in your lungs, right? Or anywhere in your body for that matter. But, so what is it that I wanted to talk about today? So I kind of want to, coffee. Yes, right. Coffee is amazing. But, yeah. So the whole idea of the title, like, what the hell, right? And it's kind of like a little chat, about life. Not owing anything to anyone. Right? Or at least understanding that you don't owe anything to anyone. So here's the thing. So in life, we talk. First, I'm getting ahead of myself here, so back up. When we talk about the left-hand path, we always kind of talk about personal accountability and personal responsibility and all of those kinds of things. And when we talk about those things, generally speaking, most people kind of look at that and they look at that like in a negative light, right? Like be responsible for your fuck-ups, be accountable for your mistakes. And yes, that's 100% true. But there's a whole other side to that, right? Which is, I mean, I suppose so. But there's a whole other side to that like we don't generally talk about. And it's, I think it's the more important part, right? Is also understanding that the things that you achieve in your life, right, are also yours. Fuck, excuse me, goddamn. So the things that we achieve in our lives are also our responsibility, right? They're also because of us. And I think the reason I kind of want to talk about this is because the whole move thing, there are moments in this place where like I kind of get like nostalgic about the old place and I get a little depressed and, things like that. But being here, being in the area that I'm in, I don't know, like freedom, like actually feeling free, like actually feeling like you have the freedom to do what it is that you want to do and what you want to achieve. And so I feel grateful to be in the position that I'm in and be able to do the things that I do. And the left-hand path has most definitely sweetened the deal. I would say. I believe that change is a necessary evil. Many people don't like change. And I think this really falls into the idea of change. Allowing change to happen. We fight so hard to stop change from happening. We don't like change. We like consistency. And though there's a lot of changes that are probably bad, that don't feel very nice when they happen, there is other changes that we find difficult to deal with, but aren't necessarily, they don't have a negative outcome for us, right? And we still kind of find a way to avoid those changes. And I think kind of allowing yourself to kind of really fall into those, like allowing them to happen, allowing yourself to grow is extremely important. I mean, especially if we talk about, working with Lucifer, working with, Baphomet, we talk about balance and we talk about a guiding light, a light that pushes us forward, that shows us a direction to go into. Those things, are all about change. I've recently started working with Belial. I've only done one ritual with Belial, but the emotional context that I'm getting here, like about a day later, because it was yesterday that I worked with him, very briefly. I also believe that inside of ritual, you don't necessarily feel the results immediately. And coming out of that, that change, that aspect of change, I'm changing. I've always avoided working with Belial because I've told somebody once that I look at Belial as kind of like the Britney Spears of, demonic magic, because everybody wants to work with Belial and everybody wants to treat Belial like it's like, it's like Belial's my demon daddy. It's like, oh, shut the fuck up. It's like, get the fuck out of here. It's fucking bullshit. It makes me think of that little kid. I don't know if you guys have seen that meme, a little kid sitting in the backseat. Is it bullshit? Is it bullshit? Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. So I've always avoided working with him, but after that one, that one ritual that I did yesterday, I can feel a lot of things kind of coming into perspective that weren't coming into perspective before. about certain changes that need to happen, certain actions that I need to take to guarantee that those changes happen. So it's like, yeah, you know, I didn't expect working with Belial to be to bear any fruit, or at least fruit, so quickly. And it has allowed me to kind of see the comfort in the difficulty. I can understand Father Lucifer, but Belial will shove you in the flame and watch you grow armor or burn. So that's what everybody keeps. That's what everybody keeps saying. That's what everybody keeps saying, right? You know, and you know, my partner told me that like I should definitely work with Belial because my personality, I guess, aligns very well with Belial. Just kind of like the whole, kind of a bit crass, I suppose. You know, rough around the edges and just straight to the fucking point. Like I just don't give a shit. So I finally said, fuck it. I will work with Belial. And I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I did. It's not the first time that I've worked with a goetic demon. You know, fire is 100% part of my armor. Burn, baby, burn. Yeah, well, I mean, I think fire needs to be part of everybody's armor. Like, let's just be completely honest, right? Like, fire is, you know, like, we need to get burned in order to understand what direction we need to go into, right? Like, I mean, we need that to happen, right? That's kind of like a requirement of life, is to, you know, put ourselves into a position where, you know, shit is going to hurt, and kind of learn from it. And most of the time we do that unintentionally, right? We try to choose the easy way out and realize that there is no easy way out. And what we thought was easy is 1,000 times more difficult than just going straight through the shit. And yeah, that is a lesson to be learned. But that's, at the end of the day, that's all this is, right? Every day is a lesson. You learn new things about, you know, who you are as a person, each and every day, with the choices that we make, and the changes that we make in our lives. But definitely, I think the change that needs to happen, or the change that I'm seeing that needs to happen, is cutting out toxicity. Like that's kind of like the big part, right? Is to cut out toxic elements of my life, to not allow certain toxic elements to affect me as much as I had let them in the past. And I think it's kind of difficult, like going off of kind of like what I said last night, being an overthinker, like being somebody that constantly just overthinks fucking everything that's going on, right? Especially in stressful situations. You know, it's hard to kind of like let toxic people lie in their own toxicity and just kind of like drown themselves in their own venom. Because being an overthinker, you're constantly kind of thinking of, you know, how to, you know, like, is there any truth to this? Can this, you know, thing happen? How should I work with Baphomet, or how to approach him? So, all right. I'll give you this one for free, okay? Because for those of you that don't know, I've kind of like opened up kind of like a consultation kind of business kind of thing. So like I do, you know, spiritual consultations and other occult services. Just go to atiusdade.com. I'm also going to be uploading artwork there, stuff like that. So if you guys are interested, like occult artwork for your home, room, ritual room, whatever. Also, feel free to shoot me suggestions and what you think would be cool. Let's see if I can make it for you. But I'll give you this one for free because everybody asks me this one. Dedication and time. Time and dedication. There isn't any specific way that you should approach Baphomet. Just approach him. Right? I mean, maybe the way that I approached Belial very much the same way that I approached Baphomet, and I suppose maybe that's like, maybe not the way to do it. Like, I mean, a lot of people like using kind of like spooky language and shit when they do, like ritual work and stuff like that. Like, I'm very against spooky language, vague, spooky language. Like, so, like, quite literally, like, so I pulled Belial's card out of the occult deck, of the occult tarot, placed it at the center of my altar, lit up the candles, dropped down to my knees, allowed kind of like the aura and essence of the energy that I was looking for kind of just like start to kind of encompass me. And instead of like, some very deep, thought-provoking wording, for me, I was just like, hey, what's up, Big B? First time reaching out here. And I'm looking to mix shit up. I'm looking to, grow and allow myself to, grow in the way that I need to grow for myself. Trying to be very non-specific in like the direction that I wanted to go with things because there really isn't any specific. You guys are wondering what I'm doing with my phone here. I ordered food for myself and my mini creature. So I'm just waiting for that to show up. Just kind of figuring out where it's at. But and I was just like, yeah, I'm looking to mix shit up. I'm looking to kind of break this fucking, idea, these ideas that I have in my head with certain things, what have you. Let's do this. I've been avoiding working with you for XYZ reason. I'm stepping up the bat here, so, what do you got for me? And that's like, I'm not even bullshitting. Like, I mean, I'm not being figurative. Like, that's literally what I said. Like, in a nutshell. I mean, there's more specifics to it that I'm not going to mention on a video, whether pre-recorded or live. But that's like, I'm not even joking. See how it rolls. It's essentially, that's what it is. Baphomet. So Baphomet being kind of like part of like, kind of like the tree of life root system, the tree of life, like the black tree of life and death root system, the basis, the stabilizers, right? Of the whole system. You kind of have to prove yourself worthy by beginning to kind of practice, attempting to practice balance in your own life and presenting yourself as someone that is emotionally balanced. But at the same time, understanding that you need help with that balance. So like being humble, but being confident. And by showing that level of dedication. So, I mean, you have to figure, I reached out to rather Baphomet for 2 years before like I got anything back. So it was like after about a year and a half, 2 years of kind of like, banging my head against a wall. There's finally kind of like reached back out, right? It came back to me. And it was probably like the best thing that's, ever happened spiritually speaking to me is, my work with Baphomet. The whole reason, I've decided to reach out to Belial is I kind of want a more aggressive approach. Like, just to be completely honest, that's kind of like what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a more aggressive approach to the things that I want to accomplish. It's not to say that I'm sacrificing my balance for it or that I'm sacrificing work, that I've done over the years with Baphomet. By no means. I mean, I've worked with, Payman before, King Payman, Lucifer, Lilith. I've worked with them, fairly extensively. And at no point have I ever sacrificed the progress that I've made with Baphomet. I think that Baphomet is one of those entities that when you're looking kind of like for a general encompassing, cover all kind of entity, Baphomet definitely covers those bases. I think one thing that, people kind of get mixed up on though is like Baphomet is not the entity that you want to work with if you're trying to, make money, or if you're trying to fix your love life, or, anything like that. Baphomet is definitely not that entity. Baphomet does not give a shit. Baphomet is indifferent. And that is the aspect of the balance, is that everyone gets treated equally. There are no favorites when working with Baphomet. We all get the same dish, right? Well, I mean, light a candle, turn the lights out, light a candle, drop to your knees, invoke his name, and wait. Like, listen, like to be completely honest, like a lot of people, when it comes to the occult, like really try to like stick to the whole Wiccan concept of like, like for a spell to work, like speak it in rhyme, try to find some old spooky sounding Latin shit and, use that. I have had the best results, like literally just like going in front of my altar and being like, hey, what's up? I got this thing I need to talk about. Right? Like I want some feedback if you could, please. And are there moments and are there times where I do think that maybe kind of like, spending a little bit more time on your interaction is beneficial? Definitely. Definitely. Do I think it's necessary all the time? Fuck no. Just be you. Would you describe the left-hand path to an atheist? How is it distinct from organized religion, but also distinct from secularism? Well, when it comes to the left-hand path is an overlay. It can be applied to anything. Guys, you guys got to give me a quick second. I need to go grab food because it's outside. I will be right back. Enjoy Behemoth-X. I'll see you in about a minute.
C10 Demonio Dinaja Abarera Legos Rambori Banish 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 C10 Demonio Dinaja Abarera Legos Rambori Banish
I'm not sure if that was like a minute and a half or not, but I'm back. So yeah, so the left-hand path, how would I describe it? It's an overlay philosophy. So it can apply to practically anything if applied correctly. I don't think the left-hand path is inherently demonic, or even necessarily inherently theistic. I think that most atheists are, to some degree, on the left-hand path. Why are some people spiritual and others are not? I think that just deals with a person's experience, honestly. Like, I really think that that's kind of like what it comes down to is what have you experienced in your life, right? Some of us, like I would generally consider myself very spiritual, but at the same time, I'm very skeptical, right? So when somebody starts talking to me about what it is that, you know, they've witnessed or what they've been through in a situation, spiritually speaking, you know, seeing a ghost or seeing an exorcism or a possession or, you know, what have you, you know, these so-called manifestations of spirituality and reality, right? Wrong. No, you would not have to convey that there are demons. Because again, as I said, the left-hand path is a philosophy that is not inherently demonic or spiritual, for that matter. The left-hand path in and of itself is a philosophy. It's not a spiritual doctrine. The left-hand path doesn't talk about demons or working with demons or working with angels or what have you. It's working with yourself, right? Like the left-hand path is inherently a path of self, disregarding all external aspects that we ourselves interject into the left-hand path. That's us. That's what we do. But that's not what the left-hand path is inherently. You know, it is the whole concept of self-deification and immortality, you know, from a philosophical basis, right? So, yeah, I think, you know, to explain or to talk about, you know, the left-hand path, it's quite easy to explain it to anyone. I mean, you could probably talk about the left-hand path without actually calling it the left-hand path. Like, to be completely honest, like you wouldn't have to say that this is the left-hand path in order to actually explain it to somebody. You could quite literally just say that, like, I believe that I am responsible for my own future. I am responsible for, you know, my own happiness. I'm accountable to my mistakes. You know, I'm responsible for where I am. I'm responsible for where I'm going. And it is my choices and my decisions that dictate the direction that my life goes. And if something goes not to plan, then the first thing that I need to criticize or look at critically, rather, is myself. You know? Why am I mentioning demons during this meeting? Because it's what I work with. That's why. I mean, it's kind of like it's, you know, it's my show and I'll cry if I want to, right? Kind of thing, right? You know. I mean, like, you know, I mean, I don't mean to be an asshole, but, you know, It's my party and I'll die if I want to. So, yeah. Um, I mean, if I want to talk about Scooby Doo and Barney, I'm going to talk about Scooby Doo and Barney. I think Barney was a demon in disguise, honestly. Purple fucker. Like, I mean, I don't know if like, I don't know if you're, asking me like directly or like what, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, because I feel like it. That's why I like it to be a direct answer, right? Like, why am I mentioning demons? Because I want to. I don't need any other reason. But yeah. It's okay. Follow-up question: as part of the left-hand path. Well, so the left-hand path, like I said, it's an overlay. It's an overlay concept. Maybe you weren't here like when I opened up with that part. So, even though the left-hand path isn't inherently theistic in any way, shape, or form, it can be overlaid on a lot of things, and that applies to any pantheon that you work with, right? Like Norse paganism, Wicca, demonolatry, Satanism. I mean, Satanism is inherently left-hand path based on, like, especially if you go with LaVeyan Satanism. Like, I think, like, to be completely honest, I think that Anton LaVey was kind of like the founding father of the fucking concept of the left-hand path. At least from a somewhat spiritual perspective. He's the one that kind of like put the steps out, how to kind of, watch where you're going and type thing. So the left-hand path is like an overlay philosophy that can be added into addition to many different pantheons and belief systems. For all intensive purposes, right? For like, I mean, to put it out there, right? I dare say that I believe that even a Christian or a Catholic could be left-hand path, because their belief, their inherent belief in God and Jesus, does not mean that they have to necessarily believe that they are not responsible for where they are in their lives, right? Like, you could, by all accounts, believe in God, believe in Jesus, go to church every Sunday, and still philosophically follow the left-hand path unhindered. The only requirement in the left-hand path is understanding the responsibility of cause and effect, and that karma is not something that comes back to you, but something you create. Right? You create your karma. It is your karma from the things that you do and the directions that you move, right? Like, so I think this idea of karmic energy and how things kind of come back and fumble you in the face, because like if you do something bad, it's going to come back to you threefold. No, it doesn't work that way. If you are an asshole and you're moving in an asshole direction, eventually at some point, asshole things are going to happen to you because everyone knows you're an asshole. It's just that simple. That's not like the universe throwing it back at you. That's you walking that path and moving in that direction. You can be an asshole, but eventually you're going to meet a bigger asshole than you. Right? And that's just because when you are an asshole and you move in an assholic direction, assholic things are going to happen eventually. Right? Because you're going to meet somebody that's bigger and badder and better, and they're going to put you in your place. Now, some people would call that karma, but it's the karma you create. Exactly. So I don't believe in this idea that, you have to pay a karmic debt, or you have to, pay your karma for all the bad things that you've done, you know, like to other people and stuff like that. I mean, I've had my moments. I'm not a fucking angel. You know, I've hurt a lot of people. You know, I've made a lot of assholic decisions in my life that I'm not proud of. And, you know, I made an active choice and an active decision to not do that anymore. And, you know, have bad things happen to me? Yeah, bad things have happened to me. I've met some assholes. But it's life, right? Like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, what do people look out for? Oh, another one. Hey, Mikey, you know, if you found Jesus and that's your shtick, you know what? Go for it. But, you know, I'm proud of you and I'm happy for you, Mikey. You know, but you're not going to change what I believe, nor are you going to change what everyone else believes in this chat. You know, like, and Jesus Christ isn't Lord. Jesus Christ was a prophet and a savior to the Christians. You can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I'm sorry, Mikey. Jesus Christ can't be the savior and God at the same time. Sorry. Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you and pray for those who spitefully use you. Well, I mean, two wrongs don't make a right, right? I mean, that's the childish concept, right? And I love how like these people like they pop in, they say that little thing and then they run away. Like, I think, you know, oh, there we go. All right, you didn't run away. Props to Mikey. Mikey's still in the black mask. What's up, homie? Welcome. You know, I'm proud of you, Mikey. I mean, there's no reason to get pissed off about people like expressing their shit, right? Like, I mean, there's going to be those Christians that are gonna be like, you're gonna burn in hell. And it's like, all right, cool, you know. It's like, rock on, homie. Like, like if that's what you think, if that's what you believe, then you know, all the power to you. I'm happy for you. Like, I mean, it's like that's the only thing you can do, right? Like, if somebody believes in something enough that they are willing to make someone else's life absolutely fucking miserable because they believe in it, well, all the power fucking to them, because they believe in it that much, right? That they are willing to die on that fucking hill. And just like, you know, I always tell people, if I offend you, you don't have to be here, right? Like, I'm not here to make you feel good about yourself. Right? I'm here to make myself feel good about me. I'm here to stroke my own ego, right? That's why I'm here. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to bullshit. I'm not going to sugarcoat that shit. Satan and coffee exists because, one, I like to talk to you guys. You guys are fucking cool, right? I love my community. You guys are fucking awesome, right? Hail and rock on. And I'm here to stroke my shit. Like, I mean, you know, like it's that fucking simple. It's just be honest with yourself, right? You know, about, you know, why you do something. And yeah, I mean, so if you're going to be dealing with people, you know, like that, if I offend you, you don't have to be here. And, you know, when it comes to other people that think I'm going to burn in hell because of what I believe in, I'm not going to hang around and talk to them. They're going to say their piece. I'm going to be like, rock on, and I'm going to move on, you know? So I'm always so bemused by people who want to prescribe people's beliefs to them. Yeah. I mean, technology is a tool. It is, Mikey. It is a wonderful, wonderful tool. Lady Tessa, thank you very much for that. £6.66. right? Was not expecting that, right? Like, went British with that shit. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Verse 30. Give to everyone who asks of you, and from him who takes away your goods, do not ask them back. I don't know. I mean, Mikey, rock on, right? Right? We can go fucking full Ken Kniff with that shit. Amen. So yeah. I mean, like, God bless, man. Like, if you're God fearing, God bless you, man. Like, it does nothing to me to say that. Like, it causes me no harm, like, to say that, right? At all. So yeah. You know, I don't know. This has been an interesting hangout sesh, guys. Like, straight up. Not exactly. I'm going to be completely honest. All morning, I have been completely submerged in working on some other stuff. Live and let live. Sleep is the cousin? Homie. Are we talking like first cousin, second cousin, third cousins? I mean, there's you know, there's a line there, right? Like, I mean, I guess like the first cousin thing's okay if like you're in like fucking Arkansas or some shit, but you know, right? Nice kicking in. Shit. Or parts of Canada. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. God damn. Anyway, everyone. I'm gonna call it right there. You know, this has been definitely an interesting chat. You guys are fucking amazing. I do hope that you guys found today entertaining. I just wanted to have fun and bullshit for a little bit. It's been a lot of fun hanging. Guys, you guys are fucking awesome. You guys are the reason. Look, whether you're dropping scripture in the chat, whether you're rolling on jokes with me, or, you know, telling me, you know, that Jesus Christ is Lord and King, you know, like and subscribe, right? Like, just like and subscribe. And maybe share the video, right? So other people can be a part of the fun next time. I will see you guys next week. You guys are fucking amazing. As always, hail thy fucking self and peace the fuck out. Bye-bye, everybody.